Mistake is writing these vision and value sentences from any other paradigm that isn't the regenerative paradigm. So I'll give you an example. If you were writing from the degenerative paradigm, you might, and you were talking about, spiritual capital or maybe even living capital, you might have a sentence like, we have nature working for us. The underlying assumption in that statement is the idea that we're at the top, everything else beneath us, and it's a slave. As I mentioned earlier, Toby Hemingway says, nature makes a much better partner than a slave, right? So if your vision has this assumption that we're better than everything else and that we have the right to domineer, again, you're going to be bumping up against that force of complexity in the universe. You're not going to achieve your highest expression. You're going to be fighting all the time. So be on guard for the underlying paradigm that you're writing these statements from. Now, most people in this space aren't going to have a lot of that. They're going to be more so in the sustainable paradigm, which is you're going to write that statement like Bill Mollison would have, which is we're working with rather than against nature. But embodied in that is also this idea that we're working with nature, but she's over here. It's still this separate thing. And it's so funny how so many people, when they talk about nature, they just automatically nature is everything not human. Cities aren't natural, cars aren't natural. Humans are the only species that drink another mammal's milk, which is a lie. I've got lots of videos of my pigs drinking milk from my milk cows, and but that whole idea is wrapped up in that is that we are separate and below the natural system. We're at the bottom of the pyramid where we don't have a right to be here. And so, you're going to write those sentences from the framework of, we're working with rather than against nature. So the correct way to write it is, as Penny Livingston Stark says, is we are nature working. And that embodies that regenerative paradigm, this idea that we are part of nature, we have a right to be here. And the enlightened self-interest is the right path forward. It's not about sadism or masochism or being domineering or subservient. It's about cooperation. So be on the lookout for that third mistake, and make sure that all of the 9 sentences about what you think is right and what you actually want are written from this perspective that we are nature working. So